Hi, welcome to another special musical episode of Terrain Vague. We have with us an amazing band called The Annoying. The Annoying. And we have with us, 10 Ticklish Ants.
Hello, how's it going?
We have Michael over here, he was playing the bass. Hello. He'll be playing some other instruments of the electronic computerized variety. And we have Leech there, he's on drums and percussions. And yeah, I will be back to interview you guys later, but for right now, I think if you guys are ready to rock out.
I'm almost ready. Let me get my.
You're almost ready? Okay. I'll give you.
Ready. We're like kind of not ready, but almost too ready. So
we're close enough to
we're
ready.
ready as we could be to.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
Okay, and he wants to go home. Okay. But as I said, I will be back later to interview you guys. Maybe we'll play a little game show if you like.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
I like games.
Okay, sounds good. So without further ado, we have The Annoying.
Soviet Union for 40 years with this electronically generated noise, which overwhelmed the voices coming from Munich, London, Cologne, Washington, Jerusalem, Beijing, and Tirana. Causes a car radio to buzz. Radio and television reception may be badly affected by various home electrical appliances or cellular phones. Unwanted signals radiated by high voltage lines, trams, trolleys, electric trains, and even low-flying planes are traveling even greater distances. Fortunately, these problems last only a few minutes. In civilized countries, interference sources are quickly detected and eliminated by telecommunication control bodies. Many of us could hardly imagine that radio noise could persecute millions of radio listeners every day, decade after decade. It was jammed by Germany. In the 30s, the USSR jammed Romanian radio. Austria defended itself against the Nazi propaganda. The massive jamming started in the Soviet Union in 1948 against the programs of the BBC and the Voice of America. Jamming operations in the Eastern European countries were expanded in 1951 when Radio Free Europe started transmissions and in 1953.
Rockers and Sorors, the Imperator of the Rosicrucian Order, Amor. It is often asked, is it true that jealousy, selfishness, greed, and desire for power over people will not only destroy a person, but also those around him as well? There are two ways to approach an answer to this question. First, is it that negative, adverse thoughts in themselves have an efficacy, a force that can destroy a human? In other words, do such thoughts radiate like a destructive energy? Or does it mean that the psychological and sociological effects of such thoughts produce destructive and harmful conditions affecting people? Let us approach the subject from the point of view of the first assumption. To believe that merely holding in mind certain malevolent thoughts that may be directed toward another, will harm a person, is bordering on a belief of sympathetic value. or black magic.
On time!
Forward! Tell him you're on time. Keep track. The Blue House waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. On time. Forward. Tell them you're on time. Keep track. The Blue House waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. On time. Forward. Tell them you're on time. Keep track. The Blue House waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. 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 Waiting for the signal. should tell me it's somebody else's eye. That's good! That's good! That's so that you're gonna get it! That's good! Like I right! That's all I like! Like I'm gonna get it! It's strange! I look to find you! You won't wish it to me in somebody else's life!
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the annoying. Very nice. Very nice.
Very annoying.
A little annoying,
Yeah.
I'll admit.
Times.
A little annoying,
Yeah.
but
Not
excellent.
The pretty.
Excellent, excellent.
They
So,
calls the beautiful.
again, we have 10 Ticklish Ants.
Hello.
You look a little familiar. I think I've seen your face before, but you had
Mugshot.
a different name.
I didn't do that. That was my
Amanda
twin
Bynes.
brother.
That was somebody else? Okay.
Yeah, that was Amanda Bynes.
It was Amanda Bynes. And over here we have Michael. How are you doing, Michael?
Hello, how's it going?
And then
That noise
over here,
down there.
over here, ladies and gentlemen, is Leech. Leech, I'm going to start with you for a little, maybe a question or two. I'd like
sounds great.
to know something. So, there's a lot of different instruments going on.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be playing a couple different things. Where's this sound developing from?
The pit of our bowels.
Oh, that's a very interesting place for music to come out of.
Other things too, but yeah, no, we've been in a variety of groups together, all playing typical kind of like punk rock setups, and we decided to write a lot of the musical parts on different instruments that we're not used to, and then try to translate it back into stuff that we're used to. Therefore, translation gets lost sometimes, but
Lost in translation.
yeah, other times beautiful things come out.
I think we saw a bit of both going on, but I love that. I love that sort of chaotic mess coming out, and then art developing from it.
If you want to call it art, that's even better.
All right.
grant for that will be.
All right. So 10 ticklish ants over here.
Yes,
Again, I think. You sure you?
I'm positive. That wasn't me that did that. That was someone
Okay.
else.
You sure?
I'm sure. I'm positive.
Okay. Because you look a little bit about a friend of the show,
Are you talking-
past guest,
You're
named
mistaking me with Jim Belushi. That's who you're mistaking me with.
I was gonna say JP Danger.
Oh,
but
JP Danger. Oh, that's true. That's my twin brother. Right
That's your
there.
twin brother.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
that's why you look so
Stay away
familiar.
from him. He's Danger.
He's Danger.
He's Danger.
But you're not Danger.
I'm not Danger. No.
That's good. That's good. And then
Ticklish.
you're ticklish. You're apparently 10 ticklish ants. Michael over here. So what did you? I want to know what you started off with. We got a little bit of how the band started off with, but you personally.
Well, I started off with them, actually.
You started off with them.
Because we were.
Actually, he started off with his mom. His mom started him off.
Technically, that's actually very true.
So yeah, Leech was saying that you started off with your mom.
Yes.
Actually,
I
assume-
I first kicked at a Tubes concert.
You first kicked at
in utero, yeah.
a Tubes concert.
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah, the White Punks on Dope song.
Yeah, okay,
That's where I
okay.
first kicked. That part is true, or at least the mythology was told
Okay.
to be true, which may not
Wow,
be
that's
true.
that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of interesting things, because that was very interesting. I heard you guys are a fan of game shows.
Absolutely.
If you want, you can stay there, and I'll just come after you to hold the microphone to you. But I'm going to ask you a few questions.
I'm gonna go.
He's going to go around. That's going to make things. That'll make things a little bit easier for me, so I appreciate it. I'm going to try to get into a shot that people can actually see us. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Excuse me, lady.
A lot of these are related to animals. I'll say actually most of them are related to animals. Please just go ahead and answer whenever you feel like you know an answer. Usually we buzz in, but I'm not going to make you do
It doesn't
that.
have to be right though.
It doesn't have to be right. I would prefer if you guys were actually interesting.
All right.
Okay, so
400 ticklish ants.
okay, so are we ready?
Sure. I can kind of see your cards.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to hold them back here. Do you,
Should I talk into this microphone or your microphone? Is this too loud? Testes.
yeah, we'll
testes,
talk
1, 2,
into
3.
this one. We'll talk into this one just in case. So I want to know, what is a titmouse?
A titmouse is a mouse that has big ass tits.
No. I could see why you might think that.
That's I hear the sound of a censorship issue going on.
I hear that. I said ass and tits. You can say that.
They're really small though, right? They're like really tiny.
The titmouse or the
Yeah.
mouse's tits?
Tiny ants.
Well, I'm sure if the mouse is tiny, then even tinier, right? So,
But what is it? What exactly is it? Are we thinking it's an animal, obviously? What type of animal?
I think you're telling us it's an animal. I'm not sure if I believe
Okay,
it
it is an animal.
It's an animal. I'm thinking its phylum is genus species.
Okay, so phylum, genus, and species are all three completely different things. But
So you're telling me it's 3 different things?
so
It's a TIT mouse.
well, I will tell you, it is not a mouse. It is not a rodent.
it's a bug.
It's not a bug.
a kangaroo?
It's not a kangaroo.
It's a plant.
Think avian.
Is it a tumor?
No, think avian.
It's not a tumor.
Think
Oh,
avian.
it's a Cessna.
A Cessna? Is that a plane?
Yeah.
Sure. Why
An
not?
animal that.
Flies a plane.
Okay, it's a bird. So nobody gets points on this.
Plane when it already knows how to fly.
A titmouse, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
knew it was an animal.
A titmouse. Well, I told you it was an animal. That's why you knew that. Okay, guinea pigs. You're all familiar with guinea
I
pigs.
love guinea pigs.
There's an animal we all know and love.
Yes.
What are most guinea pigs used for?
Food.
Oh wow.
Kui. It's called kui, actually.
Well, we
It
actually
is.
eat
Yeah.
guinea pigs.
You-
That's why we.
Bonus points. Do you know where they're a popular food item?
South America.
Yeah, South America.
Peru too.
Peru too. Peru's in South America.
I have a guinea pig actually. So.
You have one right now?
Yeah,
Have you?
No, I haven't.
Pigs. They taste a lot like guinea pig.
Have you eaten them?
No, I haven't eaten him yet, or her technically, but
okay.
Yeah.
I just came back from South America. I know these
Where do how about tigers? Those are a little bit bigger than
relatively speaking, yeah.
guinea pigs.
They're not bigger than me.
We know where guinea pigs live now and are eaten, but where do tigers live? Where do most tigers live in the world?
The zoo.
In a zoo.
In a zoo.
But I'm
Technically,
thinking
that's actually
Africa?
getting to be true. But
I'm thinking, well,
I thought it was India.
zoos can be all over the world. Where
Which
specifically?
zoo?
You say
The
Asia.
Oakland Zoo.
You say
Oakland Zoo.
You say the Oakland Zoo has
Yes,
the most
the
tigers
most.
in the
Right,
world.
Mike?
I was just at the Oakland Zoo. There
They
was.
do have quite a few
They have a lot
tigers
of
there,
them.
but I thought they were in India.
I don't. Yeah, they have like one or two.
Africa.
I think they're all in the
They're
petting zoo in
Africa.
Palo Alto.
How about
Or in Walt Disney World.
how about
the
this?
Lion King.
How about if I tell you, most
Captain Nemo.
tigers actually live in the United States, and what state in particular has the most tigers?
Wyoming.
Arkansas.
Oakland Zoo.
The Oakland Zoo.
I love that.
Actually, Texas, believe it or not, about 4,000 live in the zoos in captivity in
Can
Texas.
you rent one?
There are. Can you
you
rent
eat
one?
them?
You can rent them for movies. I know that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually about 12,000 tigers in the U.S. kept illegally as pets.
You're lying.
No, completely true.
Is this like with the python thing, and they let them go into
Yep.
the
Yeah, you get it.
Florida.
It looks cute in the pet
Yeah.
store. You see a little baby cub, tiger, and you go, "That's gonna be cute." And then all of a sudden, it's eating your other pets and children,
And
or your baby,
girlfriends And your friends.
and then you just let it into the sewer,
Why do
and
you
then
think there's
soon
so many
enough,
tigers like people have? So they eat everybody.
soon
I
enough,
didn't do it. It was the
coming out of the
tiger.
toilets.
They're
you know.
gamey though. They're a lot more gamey than a
What
guinea
do
pig.
what do dolphins drink?
Piss.
I'm just
not-
surprised. I'm just surprised he didn't say mouse tit or whatever it was.
Yeah,
That was like really.
that was relatively clean for you.
I'm looking for the censors out there.
I'm starting to think you might not be who you say. I think you are JP Danger, and not his twin brother.
No.
Because you're starting to play the game like him. Dolphins, what do they drink? Where do they live? They live in the oceans and rivers
And in
Marine
UFO
world.
bases.
and marine world.
Underneath. UFO bases underneath the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, Russia has some.
right,
Russia has some.
Some UFO bases
Yeah,
or
No, yeah,
dolphins.
Dolphins that
Oh.
can
Fly UFOs.
technically.
Yes.
they could actually, yeah, they really can. They're
Wait.
way smarter than humans. That's
Yeah.
what I hear.
How do you technically
Fly UFO.
fly a UFO?
I'm not a dolphin. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have like a magic squeak.
But
an
we
oral
still haven't figured.
navigation.
Okay, we figured out what they can do, but
like a little
we still haven't
bottleneck
figured out what they drink.
Whatever the hell they want.
Apple juice.
Apple juice, whatever the hell they
blood of
want.
their-
Water, I'm
kill.
sure.
They drink water?
Yes, that's what
you
I'm saying.
lose points.
Oh, they don't drink water?
What?
Seawater.
Yeah, it's seawater. What's in seawater?
Salt.
Salt.
You can't drink.
You can't drink salt. You would die.
Or you'll die. Like,
They're
really
drinking
You can't drink salt water?
Blood.
I've drinking
Blood.
salt water before.
Well, blood's kind of.
Don't ever do that.
What do you think I drank before I came on the show? Salt
Don't
water.
ever drink salt water.
I
It's
drank
bad
a
for
bunch of salt water.
you. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
JP was on an island
I
of
stored a
Tom
bunch of
Hanks.
salt water.
I'm loving this. We've kind of lost track of time though. You guys have a video. I want to make sure
They
it gets
drink
put.
blood, don't
We
they?
have 10 minutes. I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. First, I'm gonna
What
tell
do
you
they
the
drink? What do they drink?
Yeah, I'm
Blood?
gonna tell you the answer. Blood is a little bit close because I'll give you some points for that.
Blood of autistic children.
Because did you just say the blood of autistic? That's one of the worst things I've ever heard in my
Hey, it
life.
wasn't me. It was the lion that I keep in my house. Yeah. That's what he
That
said.
was I don't even want to. I don't want you to play
I didn't
anymore.
say
That was
that.
so
I didn't
bad.
say
You're
it.
totally
Okay, I'm
allowed
sorry.
to cut that one out. It's absolutely.
No, don't cut that out.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I'll leave this
dolphins.
Yes.
They get their water from the animals they eat. So blood, technically, and also from they burn off fat, which will turn into water inside of their system.
Oh, I told you salt water.
But if they drank the salt water, they would die. It would dehydrate them.
told you they don't drink salt water, Dave. Duh.
But what do dolphins have that they have more?
Times I watched Life of Pi. Didn't teach me a thing.
I don't think there's any dolphins in Life
There's
of Pi.
that one scene.
But
There's
it's a whale.
They have a bunch of dolphins.
It's a whale.
sometimes.
Whales are not dolphins.
They're the same thing, only they're big dolphins.
We're talking about the same Life
Well,
of Pi.
actually, you're right. We did have that question before.
Yes.
Dolphins are toothed
They're
whales.
mammals.
Their form.
Warm-blooded mammals.
I'll give you some points
hair.
back for that and allow you to keep playing
Okay,
after that
cool.
horrible
Do we
comment.
have- How many points do we have?
What
Are we
what
winning yet?
was okay?
Everyone at home is lost.
What do dolphins have
What
more
would
of
be
than any
forgiven for
other mammal? What do dolphins have more of than any other mammal?
I'll let Mike handle this one.
Flippers?
Flippers? No, I think they have the
I think
the same
brains.
amount as like a seal.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they have more brains.
They have
than
more
any-
brains. I think humans might.
I think they have
Beat
more
them.
brains.
Tendons.
Tendons?
Yeah.
Well,
Tennis.
I think they have less. I don't know if they have as many bones, so I don't know if they have as many
It'd just be like
tendons.
sinewy little things.
They have more.
I could see where you think that.
More people
I think
spearfishing
he
for
wants
them
to
in
go
China?
somewhere
China
really
land?
bad right now.
I know, so we're gonna
We
keep
should
the
give
mic
him
off of
mic,
him.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep the mic off of here.
Yeah.
More people spearing them in Japan.
Okay, think of like so they get their water from food we established. What think along those lines? My questions, they're not just
They
completely
eat
random.
more than anyone else.
They have more.
So what do they have more of?
Longer stomach.
No, what do they have? No, they don't have a longer stomach. That's a good guess.
They have a bigger mouth. Is it
Then-
longer or bigger? What they have?
It's more of.
More of. They have more teeth.
Yes, they have more teeth.
Oh, we smart. We smart.
wait,
We
wait.
smart.
They can have.
Wait, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're smart yet. But like, is it
Okay, I think
is it double lined like a shark's, or is it like a?
Triple line.
I didn't check,
Oh, okay.
but
Is this this
No
is
one
gonna be
else
like
people
that
use
Monty Python skit between the two sparrows?
yes,
Yeah.
the African and the European
Yeah,
swallows.
Yeah, we're kind of right
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
Um,
they're pretty much. They're
Yeah.
floating rabbit that attacks you.
I think I'm afraid to ask a couple of these because of some answers I've gotten. So I'm
I'll
just
make
gonna
sure
move.
not sensitive
We have
for
one
you.
more, and then we'll play your video.
Okay.
You're trying to cheat, I see.
I'm not cheating.
Is
I'm
the
How many-
answer all
How
of the
many
above?
how many legs does a starfish have?
17.
17 exactly.
That's 5.
It has 5.
6.
No, it has several hundred.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Several
5.
hundred.
Yeah, the
Five, no,
little,
five.
The little things on the bottom, the
is
feelers.
this
with
one
the-
the-
Oh,
Those,
the
no, those aren't.
feelers.
But those
Do
aren't
you mean the legs?
legs.
The starfish
I mean the
or feelers?
appendages.
Oh, okay. 5.
Appendages.
Yeah, there's 5.
5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Some of
5.
them have 6 because they're all mutated.
You know
Let me
what?
see.
You all gave great answers, and you're all losing points because the correct answer is
0.
there's not a specific amount that a starfish. Some species have 5. Most species will have 5, like you've seen. Some will have more. Starfish can actually have up to 50 appendages.
That's.
Some species. So right now, I want to thank you.
Thank you. Did we win?
Unfortunately,
Thank us later.
you all lost,
Did we
which
get any
means-
prizes?
which means I win. And everyone knows on this show, on a musical special of Terrain Vague, the winner gets to play an instrument with the group, with the band. So when we come back from the video, which we're going to roll right now, I'm going to join the band in playing a song. So I think if the video is ready in the booth, we are going to play it.
He takes your guys' cut, though.
We'll just give you the link
Yeah,
to the
technically,
starfish.
and technically,
For hashtags.
Are you gonna put those little bars below that are gonna
Yeah, say their names.
say?
I could do that.
What the world needs now.
I'm Dave, and I play percussion and musical instruments that are electric.
I'm Michael Mersereau, and I do bass and computer stuff and all the weird graphical programming things, and I guess audio engineer too.
Yeah.
Oh, my name is Ticklish Ants. I play guitar for The Annoying.
So, now that we're here, let's talk about how great we are.
Dave Noise is a special radio broadcast program we've done several times over about the last 18 years down here at KZSU.
This is our second show after 3 years.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. There's always an element of danger.
It's a whole bunch of different stuff, and we like the challenge of trying to put on as much of it as we can in a single day. It's a good motivator, and it's got a good title, Day of Noise.
Listened to by millions upon millions in the world. Potentially.
Wait, don't shoot your load yet.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're back. We're about to be done with the show. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to say a special thank you to the Annoying over here for joining us. And as you can see, I brought my own instrument, so we are gonna play out until the credits roll. All right, thank you again. 1, 2, 3, 4.